Good evening. This is the Board of Health meeting, and we are 7 o'clock on the nose, so we open the meeting. Okay.
Do you want to jump into administrative?
Yep.
Okay. Vote for reorganization of the board, number 1. So I'm entertaining a motion, whatever. You're the vice chairman. I mean, if you like to be the chairman, are you okay, Annie, with it?
I actually would like to nominate Louise for chair.
Okay,
I think she'll do a great job.
okay, Louise is
I'll second that.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Chairwoman?
and I guess now we need a vice chairman. I'm looking for a nomination.
I'll nominate
No,
Lisa.
I'll stay vice if nobody else wants it.
wanna
Yeah,
still-
I'll second that.
Okay.
You want to take it?
I'll second
Okay.
Lisa.
Okay. Make a motion?
I already did.
Okay, second?
Yep. I'll
Kevin
second.
All in
seconded.
favor?
Aye.
All right. So now.
Can I vote for myself?
Yes, yes.
Now we need a clerk. So, entertain a motion for the clerk.
Kevin, you want to be clerk?
Sure, I'll be the clerk.
Okay,
And I'll make a motion that Kevin be clerk.
second,
I'll second it.
Okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, there is 2 individuals, one is over there, and one is over here. So I'm looking for whatever.
You want a job? You want a different job? What comes after clerk?
I don't know, I'm leaving up to you guys.
So now
Accounts
we have to
payable.
vote for the accounts payable. All this means is that it's who's gonna sign the bills. So we don't need to put a name, we'll just say chairperson and vice chair for signing. So that if we ever had a shift like we did last year, we don't have to make any changes. So we just need someone to go ahead and make those motions.
So moved.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
I'll second.
All in
Kevin can
favor?
second.
Okay? That's it?
Yep.
Okay. And it's up to you now, you're in charge.
Already?
You take
Oh,
over
yeah.
right
No.
now.
Oh,
yeah.
that was fast.
Throw me
Well,
right in.
that's nice thing about spring.
You want to start? You want to start, or you want to wait?
I'll-
Leave it up
No
to you.
might as well
choice, no
start.
choice. It turns over after the town meeting is the marker. That's when the terms begin and end. So you're up.
Okay.
Okay?
You can do this, Louise.
So let's vote for approve the minutes for dated 5/14.
Yep.
Now,
I think I sent you the email just about the sliding scale
I got
for the
3/4 of it,
stable
okay.
fees.
Oh, you mentioned that to her. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yep, good.
So,
any other changes or comments on them?
Kevin wasn't here, so.
I wasn't here,
Kevin's
but
not
it was
here.
continued for a year, right?
Well, I think we continued it, but we didn't make a date. I think
didn't
you
hear
wanted
that, what?
the stable fees.
Continued
In-
till next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we need to make a appointment with the woman that does that and have her come up sometime so that we can?
She doesn't want anything, she doesn't get involved in the fees of the
All
town.
right, so should we
she's-
add it to an agenda at some point
We can, if you want.
on a slow night? On a slow agenda, discuss the sliding scale or changes of the fees? Okay. Do we need to
Make a motion
We
to
don't need
accept
to
the
make a
minutes?
motion, that's
Talk
fine, we
about
can
that.
just stick it on.
Okay.
Motion to accept the meeting of the May 14, 2019. Anybody read the minutes?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so someone want to make a motion?
I already made a
Just
motion.
I'll
Oh,
second, I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Kevin abstains?
Yep.
Okay, do we have any correspondence?
Maybe a sheet.
Sarah's letter.
This is all my printout.
Oh, what happened to yours? This stuff I left you.
there a spare set of things from the
No, I did.
place? Yes.
Never mind.
Sarah's letter, or?
You got it. So this is just the normal, what I give you each meeting.
Okay.
It's just for your review. That's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. So,
Sign permits for 5 minutes?
yeah, why don't we do that since we're a little early?
Just hold the ones for tonight's meeting. So this one's already been voted on.
Okay.
Let me start some on this side. All right, these are, Jim said these are all new construction. These are Bluebird Way.
Is that Uncle Foster?
And they're all normal, no variances or anything, they're just regular.
Jim didn't sign this one.
Oh, you didn't, He had a lot of visitors today, so he was probably, I'll hold it to the side.
Oh, yeah, this is the geomat, the,
Am I qualified?
we already voted on it.
Okay.
Does Mike,
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm not.
we voted on it before Mike was on the board. Does Mike still sign?
I don't think it doesn't matter, either way.
You don't care one way?
We just need 3 signatures, so it's up to you, Mike, whether
3?
you're comfortable.
You got 3. He was here, right?
Yes.
You can be the 4th.
This is all Cricket Lane.
Okay.
Oh. They don't need any variances? Is it,
No. You can get started on this. We can play mumble. This was,
Recuse myself from that.
okay, so you still got 3. Thank you. You don't need me for this either, but.
so did you see that this has no finished basement unless they come to us, the deed restriction?
Thanks.
That's all set for Gina.
It's all signed.
It's just one more.
Having their own septic system?
Yeah, this is the, where we, when you put your restriction on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
you're.
just wanted to
you're-
make sure.
yeah, Sure, yeah, yeah, I was checking for sure.
Because there's supposed to be 2 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm,
And,
yeah, and it says,
yep. Yep.
yeah,
Kevin
for
has
socket,
signed them.
yes. There you
Gina,
go. Good.
get your pen.
I got a pen.
Does that go with?
Yes.
All of those.
Oh, wow.
Two bedroom.
You can relax.
fell asleep last night. I couldn't stay up to watch it. It's like, oh, they won. Bruins.
Didn't we also vote for a deed restriction for the attics? No finished attics?
Right.
That was not for this one. This is Cricket Lane. That was King Street.
This is King Street.
They're not gonna allow finished basements unless they come to us for
Right.
these people.
It's only for 2 bedrooms. Am I correct?
Yeah, how many permits are there to sign? What are they getting started on? How many?
It's supposed to be 17. I don't know.
3, 4, 5.
It started
Is that what they're starting with, is 5, first phase or something like that?
Yeah,
or-
so I listed them on your correspondence sheet,
Oh, okay.
the lot numbers.
I don't think I got that, Janet.
You don't have it?
Correspondence?
That's it right there. You had second page.
Right there on your right.
Is it 5?
It's 17.
Okay, 7:10, so we can open the public hearing for 93 Foster Street.
Oh, I see it.
Thank you.
I think we should request people bring their easels, show it. It's a lot easier to
that's
see.
nice.
It's a lot easier to see.
Nice touch.
You signing?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dan Carr from Stamsey McNary. I'm here to discuss the sewage disposal plans for the subdivision off Foster Street. It's an open space subdivision, which means that the allowed lot size is smaller and the allowed setbacks for dwellings to lot lines is less in return for deeding areas of open space that can't be developed. And I've outlined those open space areas in green. And because of the open space development, the dwellings are placed closer together and the lot areas are smaller, which limited our ability to design a septic system with grading entirely within its respective lot. And so we've looked at the development as a whole and graded out all the septic systems so that they all blend together harmoniously. But the end result is that there's grading for the soil absorption systems within 10 feet of the internal lot lines. So there's, we've met all setbacks requirements to the perimeter of the development. It's just the setbacks with the proposed grading is within internal newly created lot lines. We're proposing infiltrator chambers, which are low profile, which cut back on some of the grading required, but we did have to fill for some of the for most of the septic systems. But like I said, it's only for internal newly created lot lines that we've proposed this, and I think it's kind of expected in an open space development when the lots are allowed to be so small in return for the open space.
Is this up near Durkee? Is this the second phase of Durkee or Durkee?
No, it's,
Farm?
is it on the corner of Mill Road?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many
Big white
units?
house on the.
How many units?
There's 8 proposed dwellings, and there's an existing dwelling closer to Foster Street on the bottom there that was given its own lot.
You don't have any affordable one, no?
No.
So from here, it's hard to see, but are the dwellings, is that in yellow?
Yes.
Okay.
And the septic tank and the leach fields are in the darker brown. I have each
Okay, that's
individual
really-
sewage disposal plan as well on the back there, if you wanted to see those as well.
Are they all, are within 10 feet, or just certain ones?
All of them have grading within 10 feet of internal lot lines, yes.
They are two bedroom?
They're five.
Make a comment. May I make a comment?
Sure.
Which lot lines are in question with the grading?
So, this lot line,
Right there.
between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3, between all of the internal ones, these,
Uh-huh.
10 feet.
yeah,
And will you have grading easements?
yes, for the ones where it's required, yeah.
As, that open space seems pretty insignificant. That's all been approved and
Yep,
happy with that?
the planning board has issued a decision, yes.
Wow.
Question? What is the lot size of the largest of the units?
Largest, let's see.
Roughly, I mean, it's, you can,
10 o'clock on, I think it's
I think this one is.
right
the
there, yeah.
largest,
That's the bigger one.
And that one is lot 4, let me check. It's probably around 60,000. Is, oh, it's only 38,000 square feet. And some of the smaller ones are around the 20,000.
so the range is between 20 to 38
Sounds about right, yeah,
square, okay.
square feet.
How many houses would you be able to get in by right without a open space development?
The same amount, 8. That's what, you have to prove that you can get 8 conventional lots to work. And then in return, you're allowed to do it smaller, denser.
Wondering, we had the grading issue with Durkee, didn't we? Didn't they have,
They're doing the easements too,
were they?
Yeah. Just in between all the units.
Mhm. But just to, like, the second, remember that second part that came before us?
Yeah,
And they
they're-
said that they were working on the grading
For drainage.
for drainage, and
Right.
before they finished, and everything would be even and level looking? so they
Between,
wouldn't
between
be-
the homes.
Yes, yeah. Is this something like this, you think? Is that what? No, this is just the size and the location of the grading, okay.
Are you doing anything for drainage?
Yes, there's roof drywalls for all the houses, or most of the houses. And there's an infiltration basin for the road, 2 infiltration basins for the road. One's closer to Foster Street and one's behind Unit 3. And there's some infiltration trenches along the proposed driveways. We've done a whole stormwater report in the planning board process. So runoff numbers were less post-development than pre-development as required.
Traffic light at the end of the driveway.
What's that?
Traffic light at the end of the driveway. all that.
Yes, there was a minor traffic study done.
Do you have any abutters here, or
Yeah,
anybody
are there
else
any
have
abutters?
questions or comments?
Did you sign it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you want me to read?
Okay,
it?
just one,
Yeah, go ahead.
sure.
So 93 Foster Street subdivision, this is, the site grading of the lots in this proposed subdivision are being designed together to ensure proper grading for the locations of the houses and septic systems. The proposed grading comes within 10 feet of the lot lines and in some cases crosses lot lines. It is my understanding that the purpose for board's regulations governing the fill placement within 10 feet of lot lines was to minimize the potential of surface runoff onto abutting lots during the installation of sewage disposal systems. Given the subdivision site design, I believe the applicant has minimized the potential for surface runoff, and I believe granting the variance would be reasonable.
Does anyone want to make a motion?
Any other comments?
Any discussion among, or?
No.
I move that we grant the variance as requested.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good luck.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Next up is 27 Fort Pond Hill Road.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
Good. I'm hoping that you have comments from
Oh, shoot.
We have to continue.
This just means I can go home earlier. So we were asking for a waiver from regulations requiring 2 compartment tanks. And also, we had noticed for fill within 10 feet of a lot line. Otherwise, the septic system design is the same as was approved in 2006, with the exception that we've added a observation port to make it compliant with current Title V requirements. And I think that's it. These are not the current plans, though. So the system was installed in 2006, 2007. Everything right up until the final fill and grade was inspected. So the system complete inspection, the leach field, the septic tankage, and the pump system and the D-box were all inspected. But the owner never went to close out the permit. So the permit expired after a couple of renewals. So we're here today to get the permit reissued with the 2 waivers.
How many bedrooms?
It's a 4-bedroom septic system.
Okay, are there any abutters here?
I don't think
Does
so.
anyone have a comment or discussion?
Yeah, I feel like it's been so long, you should probably put a 2-compartment tank in.
So there's a 1,500-gallon tank and then a 1,000-gallon pump chamber. So, but my discussion with Jim, and I don't, if Jim's commented on it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll be happy to read the comment, because we're catching up to the last.
Yep.
27 Fort Pond Hill Road. The system for this site, sorry for the repetition of your story, but context. The system for this site was permitted and installed 12 years ago, but was not issued a certificate of compliance because of paperwork issues and incomplete construction of the septic system permit expired. The house constructed on the site was left vacant, but is now being readied for occupancy. Since a certificate of compliance will be necessary for occupancy, a new permit for the existing septic system is being sought. Your regulations at Littleton's have changed since the original permitting, and that is why the applicant has applied for variances. The existing system, as designed, is still in compliance with Title V. The variances sought are for replacement of fill within 10 feet of lot lines and the requirement to install a 2-compartment septic tank. At the time of the original permitting and installation, the applicant obtained easements for the placement of fill on the abutting lots, and when the system was installed, the necessary fill was also put in place. As this house is at the end of a long driveway, it is downhill of all other abutting houses, and the fill easements are in place. It would be reasonable to grant this a variance, since no abutters will be affected by the system graded on this site. As part of the existing septic system, a 1,500-gallon single-compartment septic tank was installed. If the tank is found to be structurally sound and watertight, it is compliant, and it is in compliance with Title V. An effluent T-filter would need to be installed because of the sewage is being pumped into the leaching area. The T-filter will serve to minimize the migration of solids from the septic tank into the pump chamber and the leaching area. The town's regulation number 29 makes provision to use existing tanks in the event they are found to be structurally sound and watertight. If the existing tank is found to be acceptable, I don't see a problem with granting this variance.
Do you have the T-filter, or is that something that Jim is recommending?
Oh, it's installed.
Okay.
That was installed
12 years.
In 2000, and that was just common practice even back then.
If I could just add, according to Jim, he will be around to make sure the tank meets the specs.
Well, there's a lot of inspection
Yeah,
requirements
right.
that I'm not sure if they're listed there, but
So it hasn't been inspected yet?
the tank,
Yeah.
they were inspected in 2006, 2007. But as part of the closeout, Jim had mentioned that he wanted to have us expose the leach field ends, and also the distribution box, and also the inlet and outlet of the septic tank and pump chamber.
And then when he sees it, you have to approve.
Hmm?
And when he sees it, then that's all he needs it, to see it.
Yeah, well, he was concerned of potential
Right.
settlement,
Right.
things like that.
And
then
has
if-
that happened?
No, that would be part of the closeout.
Okay.
We'd also have to do another final fill and grade, because when we left, I'm not sure what happened between 2007 and 2000 and today, but there was quite a bit of work done. So I'm not sure about the grading.
But anyway, so far, the agent has okay it, so.
So we would do a final fill and grade, we'd inspect, we'd run the pump system, make sure the pump's operational, make sure that the flow from the D-box to the leach field is adequate.
So somebody has to make a motion.
So would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the variances as noted, the fill within 10 feet and the requirement of the install of the 2-compartment septic system.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. One abstain?
Sure.
That's a good style. That's nice.
Okay.
Nice to see you
Did you
back.
see something, did you want something different?
I just think everybody has to put a 2-compartment tank in, so
Mm.
why should this be different since it's not even an existing septic system? It's new construction.
My point to Jim was that the pump chamber acts as a second compartment of a 2-compartment tank.
Yeah, but you
So,
gotta,
and-
gotta have the 2 compartments before the pump, so it's easier to pump and doesn't destroy the leach field down the road, and you're so close to the wetlands that it's marginal.
Since it's going to be looked at before, for the closeout, as you put it, and it's within our rules, I think we're.
It's not.
Hmm?
It's not.
According to the health
He only cares about Title V.
and, okay, I agree, he only cares about Title V.
But anyway,
Okay.
the agent says okay. and We,
Providing it's structurally
Right.
sound.
Right.
he's gonna come and look at it, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
If you have to come back, make sure you bring chocolate.
Fair
Have a
enough.
good day.
Okay, so.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for coming in.
Boy.
All right.
Next up is 5 Kimlock,
You have to wait 15.
oh, 15.
7:45?
Yep.
Can we do
Here,
comments?
I have a bill for you to sign. That's because we lost somebody. That's why I had such a big gap.
Can we do member comments while we wait?
Sure.
Thank you.
This is just a bill.
Five.
Just sign it.
You just sign it, yeah.
That's all we got. 288, 5 and 28. Well, it's gonna be a short night.
Okay, Kevin, would like to?
Yeah, first off, I'd requested to see the wastewater treatment results from IBM.
Yep, you got my, did you get my email?
I got your
back?
email that they don't send them to us.
No, so they're not required to, the state is not required to send them to the local Board of Health. It's managed by the State Board of Health.
right.
And since they switched companies, Shelley said to me, we haven't seen any at the town level since they switched companies at the beginning of 2000.
Could we request those?
No, because it's not a,
So like, what are they hiding?
it's just, it's something that's monitored by the state. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not a town monitored thing.
So we need to talk to the state.
It's out of the state jurisdiction, just forget about it.
It's, you know, it's sort of like a courtesy that they send all of the wastewater treatment. I mean, you can, if you saw something that was, the way it was explained to me is if you saw something you didn't like, you would have to tell the state to go after, you know, we don't have any enforcement basis on the town level anyway.
Okay. So we can ask the state for the results?
I can see if there's a way for me to do that.
The Massachusetts Association of Health Boards local marijuana regulations, did you guys want to look at those? The ones they recommend?
Sure.
Can I ask you a question? Do we have,
I thought we weren't.
But I
this
don't,
is
yeah,
information, I just want some information, this is not the challenge that I
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
Does this board have any statutory role in that?
It's my understanding the Board of Health has no role in the marijuana. It's Board of as in that email that I
Yeah.
sent you from the Board of Selectmen. The Board of Health is not a part of the marijuana piece at all.
For what they're
so,
proposing and dealing with, but as the Board of Health, we can regulate per public health,
What?
certain regulations, like,
Similar to tobacco?
similar to tobacco, similar to food service, since they'll be making edibles and things like that.
But because the state voted for it, I mean, the people in Massachusetts voted for it, you have very little jurisdiction. You can say no, if you say no, that's fine, you know.
No, not saying no,
Yeah.
but, determining, should be this far from schools,
Yeah.
should be.
That's already in the.
That's already regulated.
And also,
Okay.
all of them, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I understand what you're trying to do, but basically, it's there has to be a host-town relationship between any enterprise.
Why don't I
and that.
send you the documents? You can read it.
I have, since I'm on another committee, I've seen them.
Oh, the Massachusetts Health Board one?
No, yeah, we try to, when we're doing the master plan, we try to understand what's going on. Well, I understand what you're coming from, but I think it would be more efficient if you had some idea of where in particular you wanted to see if there's a reason
Mhm.
for us. In other words, a channel in that makes sense
Mhm.
from your point of view, because.
For public health.
Yeah, for the public health. I mean, an opening that says that where they've left something open.
Sure.
There's a little home rule in there, so, but they have, most of the rules, as far as I could set out, were set up by the state.
Mhm.
To the, how far you have to be from schools. I mean, the zone here in town is set up so it meets
Oh, yeah.
the minimum requirements, so.
And there's
yeah.
there's this marijuana
Yeah.
subcommittee that's involved with the selectmen, so they're the ones who
Yeah.
are
Usually it's a
determining
500
what is
feet.
gonna be in place for Littleton.
But, this doesn't stop you from, or shouldn't stop you from if you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I'll bring in the document that the state came up with, and if you guys determine that it could be useful
You
to
should-
us, then.
Yeah, we should have this. Usually it's about 500 feet.
Mhm.
Okay, just same thing with liquor, okay, same thing with cigarette. There is a distance they have to maintain. If they violate it, the license can be revoked. By the state, not by the Board of Health.
Yeah.
we can
Right.
see how the state compares to our restrictions and see what's stricter
Mhm.
or
And y-
more,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
In-
and it's
in
not
the
even to
event
be-
we
Flex
sort of a-
stricter.
It's
or
not even to be
less.
stricter,
Yeah.
it's just to have something so we can refer to it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think what they also said to me is there's no enforcement.
Enforcement, yeah, that's.
There's no way to enforce any rules that the Board of Health would put in.
Right, because it's not valid. The state made a decision, that was
There's
it.
not,
Yeah, they have a
there
whole-
isn't
yeah.
anybody to go around and say, we want it to be this way.
Well, I
In a
mean, I
way-
think that local regulations can always be put in place by the Board of Health.
That's what I was told by the Board of Selectmen. I mean, we
Okay.
can certainly take it up with the subcommittee and see what they'll be,
Again,
have to
if-
figure out who's gonna go out and,
Yeah. I just think we should do our job, that's all.
But we can ask the
Can
selectmen.
we ask the subcommittee to join in on a meeting and discuss it also,
Yeah.
Well,
get it
if
firsthand?
You leave it up to the selectmen, and the question will be, we can ask the selectmen to make sure that the state will give us, so we can see the regulation with the state mandate. If the state says 500, they might change their mind, they say might 350, but usually it's 500. But at least you have it, they'd be nice, they're nice, but the question is when the state because the people vote for it, we out of it.
And the enforcement part is significant, because with every regulation for that commission,
Right.
there is a compliance and.
We'll need an
and a
assistant,
penalty.
we'll need an assistant health agent to,
Well.
to go out there and make
It's
sure
also
things are-
expensive.
Between you and I think
Right,
what they do,
sure.
first, they wanna kill the children, then they're gonna end up with the elderly. I'm glad that I'm not elderly yet. Then they allow marijuana, the next thing is gonna have you're gonna be cooking, they say, what happened? I'm a little zumba, you know, this police stop you, say, what'd you do? I happened to have a cookie, and I don't know what was in there. And they take you to the hospital, then you get a ticket because you probably ate something that you're not supposed to eat while you're driving.
Careful when you ask people for chocolates.
What's gonna be next? You know what I mean? The state's gonna allow more and more and more, before you know, it's gonna be like California.
What's the next comment?
The next comment will be
From
like.
from
Oh.
other members?
Yeah, does anyone else have any other comments besides this issue?
No, no more.
I did see on something, there are some, and Mike knows more than I do. Tomorrow is a community input meeting regarding retail. Do you know about that?
Tomorrow and Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
They
the-
included
yeah, the
that.
30th and the 29th, yeah.
And where's it gonna be? On the
Tomorrow's
fire
at the middle,
department?
well, it says proposed location is 7 to 9 at the middle school tomorrow. And then on
What
the
time?
30th, 6 o'clock
6
at
o'clock.
the Marriott.
Neither of these are town events, just to be clear. These are pitches being made by,
Right.
The people that have taken out permits to,
Right.
no, they
People that are
want to get them.
interested.
They want to get them.
Right.
And so they're
Oh,
pitching,
okay.
they're pitching the town.
Right, right.
I don't mean,
Yeah.
they're trying to sell the idea
Yeah.
to choose them as the retail recreational outlets.
and we have a
Yes.
couple of, at least 2 town
Two.
members that are
Yes.
Interesting.
interested in it,
Mhm.
yeah.
But so far,
I
nobody
believe
approached
there
for
are
a license
3
yet.
applicants at this
So far-
point for
so
the
far.
2 slots.
2 slots, and we've had,
And I think there are 3 applicants
Yeah.
for the 2
Only
slots.
2 slots that are open, yeah.
Mhm.
A friendly face. Hi. Hi.
Should we read this letter from Sarah Kinghorn?
That's good. Like that.
Is that necessary?
Okay. Okay, any other comments or discussion? I know we're early on our
I
schedule.
have, you can sign the permit for the one you just voted on. It'll kill 30 seconds. It's finally warming up in here. No. Did you sign in? I did. Thank you.
Here you go.
Okay. Oh, 27, 59, 2 bedroom. Okay.
What are those right there?
These are the 2 that were coming up, yeah.
did you say that they installed already the T-filter?
Filter, yeah. These are, they're required to install, right? See it? It must be structurally sound in order to
Various.
install. These are all the things that he's required to do.
I've never seen that house before. Did you drive by it ever?
We looked into it.
It's right behind the one that has the drawbridge. Just behind it, up on the hill.
Oh, really?
He's not gonna sign it.
You're not gonna sign it, 'cause you-
That's right, you missed the excitement.
Yeah.
What drawbridge?
The one right off Newt, that's not a drawbridge.
The
It's
one
the
that goes
bridge.
over the water?
Yeah.
The Route
Oh.
2
So it's behind
intersection.
that one.
Near Boxborough, near the Boxborough line?
Yeah.
Okay, can we start to
Took that historical bus tour of
9
Littleton.
more minutes.
7:45
How was it?
and it's
It's
only
actually really
7:30 now.
interesting. I wish it was slower. see it in historical, did you
Okay.
do it?
No, I didn't do it.
It's because we had
All
the
kinds of stuff all
tobacco
over town.
was slotted in there, and then she postponed it
On
until
Proctor,
next
there's
meeting.
a
Trip.
really nice
So I took it
redone
out.
bridge, and it's got a plaque on it.
Actually, my
and
note said
everything.
June
Stuff is
11th.
all scattered,
Yeah.
and so it's
Yeah.
hard to
That's
organize.
Oh, yeah,
this,
okay.
Because it could be very interesting to people
Mhm.
from out of town.
Yeah.
you know.
And then Mrs. Han was just driving way too fast. She's like, we've got to cut this down to an hour.
Did she narrate?
No, there was a woman from the Historical Society that did that, so.
We had them do a survey, and collect all the data.
We don't have a hearing for this
And
anymore.
everything.
37.
We have another.
You just have to wait for your time, so.
Sorry. Together.
Mhm.
That's
We haven't
why
done
town-
It's not, we don't have it here.
The house on.
On the agenda.
What?
Yeah. Mhm.
That
But,
regular house that basically.
37
Maybe
Shattuck
have
Street.
one piece of wood in it.
Did I give
it's
it to
not.
you?
Historical, all the rest
They'd
is.
like to have a hearing on it, but I say we don't have
It's
it.
a hybrid house.
Hybrid. Yeah, it's a
So I'm
hybrid.
surprised.
Right.
That's,
Very nice.
are they gonna just
Is that the one we
renovate it, or
signed,
they don't
Ryan?
know what they're gonna do?
There are
or they
about
get-
5 different plans and ideas and people coming in wanting to.
We
turn
did
in
that
everything.
last, this is last time. These are your old notes.
Okay.
Well, no, historic place where you
Right.
have weddings.
All right, give it to me, I'll put it back.
It's all dependent on.
For me,
Actually, no, isn't that the 93
Like that
Foster
Economic
Street?
Development talked about doing more like,
Yes.
weddings.
Yes.
at restaurants and stuff like that.
What's the name of the street?
Yeah. I thought that Soaring Hawk,
This is what we just discussed.
I thought that was gonna be a wedding.
Foster Street?
With the easel.
That's, yeah, that's got
93.
a problem.
What's going on? We'll talk about
Yes,
it.
sir.
Okay, got it.
Oh, still got 3 more minutes.
This is because the tobacco
Gonna make you
control
wait.
had been slotted there,
See?
and then she's away, so she postponed
Don't
it
look at
until
me, I
next
didn't do anything.
meeting, and I pulled her out, but I had everybody else legal notices already in.
Well, you never know
That's
how
all right.
long something is gonna, the discussion is
Yeah.
gonna take, so.
Sorry.
Got any good stories, Gino?
You know what?
Well, that-
Would you be a
that'll take
gentleman?
6 minutes.
That's a question.
I appreciate it.
I think the new chairperson
I
is
love
just
you
really
guys, but
running
I
the
get
meetings
a little
very
bit
efficiently.
She
nasty.
is.
I think my sister trying to poison me today.
She's staying right on
She
it.
gave me a couple of meatballs and it really bothered me.
The whip.
Good.
Oh, now I know my friends. They don't care if I
Just
die.
remember, to me, you're a very young man, so I wanted.
I'm a very young man, very, very young. Very, very. I think I'm younger than Kevin.
Couple years.
I don't want to leave the spot I'm surrounding. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
Does anybody have any meetings they know they will not be able to attend over
Oh,
the,
thank you, Kevin.
I'll miss
Really
August,
help.
which one?
the first one.
Anyone else for vacations?
You came to see us, that's it?
Yeah.
No, you don't come to see us.
I don't think I'll be here in October for the first one, October 8th,
For what?
the schedule, the calendar.
The meetings. Are you gonna miss a meeting in the summertime?
Taking a vacation, Sheena,
You gonna miss any?
in October.
October, she's gonna miss a meeting in October. What are we gonna do with her? Should we give her,
We can.
I
We'll
will
have to
miss
let
the
it go.
1st in July.
buy ice cream
First
for her?
one.
You
You
want
will?
ice cream, honey?
The 1st in July,
Yeah.
The first meeting.
that's the 9th, though. Yeah. It's 25,
Okay.
25 seconds past.
25 seconds?
25 seconds.
Jeez.
She's correct. She is
Tough.
correct.
Tough.
25.
No, I'm just
It's
saying, that it's
7:45.
7:45. We've been waiting.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not
Okay,
saying-
I'd like to open the next hearing for 5 Kimlock Street.
Thank you.
Did you bring an easel?
Not,
Oh, man.
Oh,
want an easel?
It was so nice.
It was very nice.
I can bring an easel.
We should have an easel.
we should have an
We should
easel.
have an easel. Can we put that in the budget?
Budget,
Yeah.
Be a big change.
There would be.
my next,
I was gonna make a work.
would be
With
these
clips, so they
and,
can just clip
came
it.
to-
Yeah,
Yeah.
good idea.
You only have to bring
Foam
one
board
copy.
with clips.
Right.
That's good enough.
I'm Kirk Fitzpatrick with Civil Solutions, and I'm here on behalf of Janet Sudak for a property at 5 Kimlock Street. And basically, what we have before you is a proposed upgrade for the existing 3-bedroom dwelling. It had a Title V inspection which failed. Right now, it's got a small tank under the deck, and then a couple of leaching trenches
Yeah.
in this back clearing here. So we conducted 2 test holes towards the front of the property toward Kimlock Street. And we hit fill in one down to 36 inches, and then it changed to a sandy loam at the seasonal high water table at 36 inches. And then the second test hole had
How small?
2
the-
feet of
How
topsoil.
small the tank? Underneath the.
I would guess it's probably a 650 or 800 gallon tank.
You have to take the desk out.
Actually, what they'll end up doing is, it's got a hatch. They'll open that up,
Okay,
rupture the bottom, then fill it with flowable fill.
okay.
And then we're gonna reroute the plumbing to a different location.
Oh, I see.
So we had a water table, at estimated seasonal home water table at 36 inches. And then we had observed at 64 inches and 52 inches respectively, so we were not able to run the perk test. We took a soil sample, and that came back as a sandy loam, which is very typical for this area.
What was the perk rate?
Small lot too.
Well, when you run a sieve test, it equates to 30 minutes an inch. So this is at 10 scale. It's a fairly small lot. It's only 10,000 square feet. The house is kind of centered on the lot. So what we're proposing to do is change the plumbing on the inside to avoid tearing out the deck, come out to a new 1,500-gallon 2-compartment tank. It's going to feed a 1,000-gallon pump chamber, and then it's going to pump the liquid up to
Leach field.
a new type of system, which was the
Mhm.
Geomat, which I think we talked
That you
about
did
last
for
time.
Jake, was it,
Are you familiar with it? Have you
I
seen
know
it?
about it.
Okay,
is that the one you recused yourself?
Yeah.
yeah,
Was that with you before?
yes,
Yeah.
yep.
So have you done that? Well, we just signed the permit, so you probably haven't.
We haven't
done
seen
it.
one go in yet, but,
Uh-huh.
so the Geomat, it's kind of a fibrous plastic core wrapped in a hygroscopic sac that absorbs the water. And the system has, to get the offsets, reduce the offset for breakout, the system's required to be pressure dosed, so the whole leach field's under pressure at the same time when the pump kicks on. And the Geomat allows you to be 5 feet off a foundation without a variance, as opposed to 20 feet for a typical
5 feet.
system.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we're asking for a reduction in the groundwater offset from 4 feet to 2 feet, which is allowable through the remedial use approval
Right.
with the Geomat. We're asking for approval under 310 CMR 15.405 1I to allow uses of sieve analysis where percolation tests could not be run. And we're asking for a variance from Littleton Board of Health regulations to allow fill within 10 feet of a property line. So with groundwater at 3 feet and the 2-foot offset, the Geomat goes in flat, so we're gonna hold the groundwater offset at the closest, at the highest point, which is elevation 97. So by the time we get down to the corner, it probably has like a 2.5-foot groundwater offset. So it's
So
got a
the
little
wa-
bit of fill, just to cover up the system on that corner. So the closest point, the fill's gonna be about 7 feet off the lot line,
For the driveway or for the street?
to the lot line. So this is the lot line. That's the,
That's your lot.
You have any neighbors?
that's the lot
there?
line. And
No
that's,
neighbors that, no?
the neighbors were notified.
Okay. And the water is not gonna go anywhere, just gonna stay in there?
No, it's gonna go exactly the same place it does now.
So no wall is needed? and-
No walls needed. I mean,
Okay.
the
And also-
Geomat has a lot of advantages as far as
And it's treating
the
it.
grading requirements.
It's also treatment.
Yes, it provides advanced
Yeah.
treatment.
And you have a town water?
Yes,
Okay.
town water comes in the front off Kimlock Street into the corner of the house here.
Any butters? No?
I don't think we have any about a year, but at least you notify them, right?
Yes.
Okay, who wants to read Jim's
Want to read?
comments?
Sure. 5 Kimlock Street. The sewage disposal system for this site is in failure. The bottom of the leaching area is in the seasonal high water table. Soil testing was conducted and a design was submitted to and reviewed by this office. The site has a number of constraints which make designing a fully compliant system impossible. High seasonal groundwater, high perk rate, and small lot size. The applicant is seeking a variance from your Regulation 27 and local upgrade approvals for the reduction of the groundwater offset for the leaching area at 2 feet instead of 4 feet, and sieve analysis in lieu of perk test. The request will allow the placement of a sewage disposal system on the site without retaining walls or barriers, which will minimize the potential for surface runoff toward the abutters and the house on this lot. The area is served by town water, and given the site constraints, I believe the request is reasonable. I'd like to make a motion to approve the plan and grant
I
the
second it.
variances as
All
submitted.
in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Are we doing all these all over town, all over the lake area?
They're getting popular.
That's good.
You're
Are
in
they-
Afghanistan.
Thank you for coming.
Are they less costly?
You have any copy?
Compared to the, I mean, it's really, they like to compare that system to the drip irrigation. It's a lot more cost effective than that. For the type
percolate?
of system and, yeah, the percolate or the Oakson. That's really what it's comparable to as far as the reduction is given, to reducing the offset to the foundation and the 2 feet of breakout. And those are two huge things as far as the cost savings for the construction.
Do you always need a pressure chamber, a pump chamber in order to pressure dose it?
Yes.
Okay.
So it almost, to get the 2-foot offset for breakout, it's required to be pressure dosed. You can do a gravity system, but then it has to go up to 15 feet and 3 to 1.
Okay.
So you lose that advantage.
Got it.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Sorry we make it late.
That's okay.
You take it easy.
Good job. See you again soon.
We're right on it
Right
tonight.
now, we're gonna just sign them all off as we're going along. Less to do at the end.
288.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So we have to, 3 minutes or so?
Thank you.
Madam. Can I call you madam?
Oh,
Oh, here's another.
this is becoming a
He heard
fancy
we were,
thing.
we like easels.
Oh, nice, look at that one.
Sophisticated. Look at that.
So we do want that.
Not your WB Mason
Yeah.
easel.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
288.
It's not normally like this.
You guys are all waiting for
Wait a minute. I like the display for the board. Can you just turn around this way so we have a better look into it, especially the young people here, you know what I mean? They're so young, they can't see probably.
Good.
Yeah, a little bit.
This is Bank of America?
Yeah, this is the one.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, they're currently,
This isn't Citizens down there?
no, this is Bank of America, the one they just boarded up. And
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I went to go get money and
I think they boarded it up, I think in the fall.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I noticed it recently.
No
I think it was
warning.
November, they shut it down.
Right, because I drove by, when I was out there doing the soil testing, I didn't even recognize it. It was the Bank of America, because all the signs and stuff were down, so.
Are you working for Bank of America?
For CBRE. Yeah.
They manage
They-
they manage it for the owner of the land.
You got it.
Why is that on our next dispensary location? It's like perfect.
What?
Our next
Right
what?
here?
Dispensary location.
I know, it's a nice
gonna be?
building.
Yeah. It's got a vault and everything.
We designed it for
No, actually,
we
it's-
designed it for an office use, to continue to be an office use, so,
Is the vault still there?
yes,
Vault.
I was actually in there.
Is there any money
Cool
there?
inside.
No?
The vault is still there.
I worked on a restaurant in Boston, and they kept the vault in, and they made it like this cigar.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, like a humidity.
Cigar
yeah,
bar
right.
type
Yeah,
of
you
thing?
could go in,
Huh.
and fancy cigars.
Cool.
Yeah.
Could you carry a message back to the manager, I mean, to the organization that hired you?
Sure.
To let Fleet, know that the town is moving toward putting in a sewer system.
Did you know about that?
Did you?
On Great
No.
Road?
Yeah, please let them know, because 4 notices were sent to them, none of which Fleet ever responded to, like, oh, we got it.
Along Great Road?
Yes, they're going to be required, just let them know that if, this is an if, a conditional if,
What's the timing?
probably you'll know
Years?
for sure fall. No, you will know this fall. That's when the
If I
financing
will,
goes
no.
through. But
Before you break
just-
Send them
ground.
just
your
let-
bill first, and then tell them.
But just let them know, I mean, nothing's happening yet, but let them know that might, you know, it might affect their thinking or not, who knows?
All right, so it's
Okay,
7:55.
7:55, we can open the discussion for 288 Great Road.
Hi, folks. Randy Myron with Bowler Engineering here on behalf of the applicant. We are before you tonight just to request I guess, your approval to allow an impervious barrier. This is 288 Great Road. They failed a Title V inspection back in the fall time. The existing septic system is actually within the groundwater table. So we are proposing a new Title V compliant septic system. And really, again, just requesting your approval on the impervious barrier because there's, if you look, this is the septic system here. It's a really small system. It's only 200 gallons per day. And,
What's the rate? It's
Where is the septic
6 gallons per 1,000 square feet or something like
For the cookbooks?
that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And the grade kind of drops off in the back corner here, so we're just proposing an impermeable barrier just to kind of prevent that breakout of effluent. Again, it is compliant with Title V, we just need the board's okay, since it's a requirement within your regulations.
Is he going to raise the grade?
So this is
The grade is being raised a little bit, yep. Yep, I think by a couple feet or so.
Parking lot?
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
Wow.
We tried, I know. Unfortunately. Yep.
What type of system? Coltech?
It is a Coltech system, so the plastic chambers, the low-profile ones,
You drive on those?
yes, they are HD. Yep. Yep, we can. And of course, there's a new septic system, 2-compartment, 1,500 gallon, new pump chamber.
Where's the leach field?
The existing? Or this is the proposed leach field. The existing one it's on the side here.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact extent of it. We dug some test pits.
So you're making a new one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. All right.
That's really it. I don't know if you folks have any questions, but
I don't mean to be,
You gonna tie the food truck in next door? There's a food truck.
Oh, is there? I think that is interesting, though, that sewer is gonna be installed along Great Road.
Well, who knows?
Okay, possibly.
They should monitor the situation closely.
Yep.
Does anyone have any other comments?
no.
Are you abutters? Do you have any comments for this?
How does it affect the?
Or state your name and where you.
My name is John Wong. I own 278, so it's the left side of the Bank of America,
The yellow building.
the yellow building,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So I would like to know how it would affect,
The water level. I mean, the water around, that's what
The
you're worried
runoff?
about?
yeah, the water
Yeah.
and maybe landscape. I'm
Right.
not sure.
Would you be kind enough to
The yellow
to
building, the
refer
blue
to his comment?
with Donna's?
Sure.
Yeah,
No.
just direct to the chairman, he will be able to hear you.
Sure, so, I guess his question in terms of how it's gonna impact,
Residential?
I guess, impact his property?
Right,
Is that the
right.
question?
Right.
I mean, obviously, to put in this new system, they're gonna have to dig up the ground.
Correct.
They're gonna have to remove the existing system and
Yeah.
install, a new Title V compliant
Right.
leach field, along with all the other septic components. I guess I would make the case that the existing system is a health hazard in that it's within the groundwater table.
Right.
So this one will be above the groundwater table,
Correct.
so it's being raised.
But he's concerned
Um,
about the water, if it's gonna go from the leach field out to his area.
So I guess the water is just going to go where it does today. We're raising the grade a little bit, but all the stormwater runoff is just going to go where it does today.
Yeah. It's not gonna affect the neighbor at all.
No.
That's what he's concerned about, yeah. I appreciate say that.
How far down was groundwater?
It was, I think, 60 inches?
60?
You understand? Yeah.
Seems
It
far.
doesn't affect your land at all.
60.
Just want to go
Okay?
for 2
No,
foot
no
offset.
problem, you have
Any
the
other
right to say it.
questions?
No, thank you.
No, thank you for coming.
The eyesore.
Okay, would someone, I'll read the comments from Jim Gareffi for 288 Great Road. The leaching area at this site is in the groundwater table and therefore in failure. The site is small and the building sits in the middle of the lot. Soil testing revealed acceptable conditions, but the lot size and existing building location require the leaching area to be located in such a way that a barrier is needed to keep the necessary fill more than 10 feet from the lot line. I don't see an issue with this request. The area is served by town water, and the design will allow surface runoff to flow into the existing drainage swale. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Did you understand that? That,
Yeah, he understood it.
question, it says,
It's only 2 feet on
to keep the necessary fill more than 10 feet from the lot line. Which lot line are we talking about? Are we talking about
Up
the,
above.
to the
Side.
left?
Their lot line.
Their lot line?
Yeah,
Okay,
This lot line right there.
Right there.
That line,
okay.
Are you opposed to a potential redesign to bring down that mound?
I mean, we were trying to limit the amount of variances that we were requesting. So, I mean, whether you need a variance for an impermeable barrier, or you need a variance for grading within 10 feet of the property line, we just couldn't fit in the system.
I feel like if you were to get, go for like a 2 or 3 foot offset, that you might be able to eliminate that barrier and then also eliminate the eyesore of the mound, and then eliminate their concerns.
I don't think, well, I don't think their concerns are still gonna be the same.
Well,
I mean,
maybe so.
I don't think it's gonna be an eyesore. It's partially within the parking lot and partially within the landscaped area. So there will be a little bit of a mound, but I don't think it's gonna be an obvious mound like you see with some other systems that are really a raised system.
It's not coming up 4 feet, it's coming up 2 feet.
That's right, right. And we actually are proposing to kind of gradually feather the grades in around the parking lot. So it won't look obvious. So,
No, you don't have to put no swell or anything, like a little swell.
There's one existing.
there is one
Okay.
existing, yeah. There's an existing swale
Let's go.
that's kind of along the side of the property line here. I think eventually it just drains to the back and it goes down towards in
Right.
this direction.
What,
Okay.
I'm thinking if we do get sewer, will that be just, I mean, it's mandatory that they, that they link in?
Yeah, it's mandatory. They'll have no choice. It's all commercial property is are gonna be required to be
Yep.
customers.
Yep. I would think they would like the fact if sewer would be
So
going in.
that,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to tell them what to do, just
Right.
something that they should know.
Yeah, because if they do
Yeah,
it
but-
now and they start doing
That's-
it now, then, and they're mandatory, it's mandatory that they link up in a year or two.
How could it be mandatory?
Because it's a state-approved sewer district in my definition. The town can basically make hookups from, especially from commercial properties.
Most of the
If
business.
it's failed?
Huh?
If it's failed?
No. Whether you have something functioning or not.
Most of them want to be hooked
Yeah,
up anyway.
because I mean, you're a poster case, and I don't have to tell you why.
Right, yeah. I would, and I would think they would have a certain amount of time to make that connection, right?
2 years.
Oh, yeah.
You got 2 years.
Yeah, right. Right.
It's gonna cost you, but the question is, you needed to do it now. Like I said, it's a 99% that we might have it. It could be 1% that maybe you're not gonna get it. So do the system, and then when it does connect it, you'll feel that instead of if it fail, it's gonna cost you 60,000. And then when you see this system going online, you're saving money.
Yep.
Tell that to the owner.
Tell them not to worry, financing is available.
I mean, I would think that they'll certainly be happy. It'll give them,
Give it to him.
it'll give them the opportunity to
Thank
put
you.
a different type of use, maybe even a restaurant, I don't know.
Well, that's the idea, that's the
Yeah,
idea.
Right.
that's their,
Right.
it's private property.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, would like to make a motion.
Make the motion, I'll make the motion that, that 288 Great Road be granted the variance requested and is described in the plan submitted.
I second
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
all set.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming in.
it. Thank you, we already have one.
Take care.
Honey, we have
Thank
already
you.
one there? You want another one? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 8 o'clock.
did you second that? No.
Gino.
Gino, sorry.
signing the permit?
Yes.
Oh, can I get a copy? Or, no?
You have to pay.
That's right. I actually do need to pay, right?
You do have to pay.
Wait a minute, before I sign it, you got your money?
No, I actually don't.
Otherwise,
Unless
you
you
gotta
come
come back. I can sign it tomorrow.
I'll let them know, though, that it's, so once we pay, we can just pick it up.
Yeah, you pay me. Yeah.
Got it.
2 checks, one from Neshoba and one from the county.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming.
Cool, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Any other discussions, or are we ready to
I
close the
make a
meeting?
motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
All right.